Against this right back, Charlie's definitely.
Morning, folks. All rise for the national anthem. Let's go. Am I live? I hope everyone can hear me loud and clear. People deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Again, one love for you supporters out there. Without that support from you guys, the platform would be pointless. There'll be no point sitting here day in, day out. Journey to 50k and 10k alike on Twitch continues. We're live and kicking. Please make sure you're following, subscribing on both channels. In relation to content today, appreciative to everyone who was on my Twitch stream at 10 a.m. We're here at 11:30 now, and then obviously in the evening 7:30 head over to Twitch. Is Inter Milan against Liverpool, better yet Liverpool against Inter, second leg of the Champions League, half an hour from kickoff. I'll be doing a watch along for that. In relation to today and tomorrow is Champions League business, so there'll be watch alongs. Also on Thursday is Europa League, so we'll do that. Smash the like button on your way in. Can we get to 100 likes? Make sure you're taking part in the voting. Now I kind of covered it on Twitch, but yeah, man, Arsenal have been linked with Marcus Rashford. I don't believe it. I feel there's a byproduct of the fact that he's contracted until 2023. Manchester United looks a mess, you know, question marks over his long-term future. Sorry, folks, I'm making myself comfortable. His contract, and just him. I don't think he wants to leave Man United. I just think he's throwing his toys out in the Prem. I understand he wants to play, but you know, not too many players within that Manchester United team can, for me, if you keep it true, can be upset as to why you're not playing. Obviously, if there's someone in your position playing shit and you're not playing, that's another thing. But Marcus Rashford, in no world can you complain about not playing, you know. When I hear talk about being bemused, you've been fucking shit. So what can you talk about? You need to really, at 24 years of age, open your eyes. Do I blame you for everything? Do I think you're crucified at times? Do I feel it must be exhausting being in the spotlight all the time? Of course. Do I think people are harsh? But you're 24. You look no better than you do at 18. You've had many different managers. Say what you want about them managers. Us as Sunday League experts, people who wouldn't die to work with Van Gaal, die to work with Jose. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, just on the topic of striking, be surrounded with Cavani, Cristiano Ronaldo, so on and so forth. There's been many a player there to pick advice from. Of course, he's trying to improve, but it ain't been there. Do I think Rashford would probably do better at Arsenal? Probably, because he fits into our DNA of what we're wanting to do. I do think Arteta could work some magic with him and get him playing to a certain standard. I think he would provide, obviously, his English, obviously ties in with the latter part, but the age range of what we're trying to do. You know, he can complement that left-hand side, somewhat Danny Welbeck-esque, but I don't think it's going to happen. I wouldn't move heaven and earth to bring him. He's very much a development player, and do we want to develop this player because he's 24? I think people are quite harsh giving up on him. I still think he's a decent player and he's going to have a good future, but you know, we've already got a lot of these players, you know, really. And how much are United going to charge for us? You know, in terms of depth, I'm really on it, but I don't know why we would go for him. He's a development player. I mean, he's probably got better goals record right now than the two strikers we've got. Of course, he doesn't bring the link-up play Lacazette does. He's better than Eddie Nketiah, so I don't think it's a thing. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he stays at Manchester United. And obviously, I don't know who the next gaffer is going to be. I understand getting itchy fingers and cold feet with the World Cup, with the fact that you're not playing, but it seems like there's a lot of turning around. And you look at Manchester United, there's not a single player where you can't say that if it's not speculation over their future, are they going to be here? You know, Van Dijk and Martial, they've gone out on loan. Are they going to be there? Obviously, you've got my man who was doing mad stuff off the pitch. Is he going to be involved? Again, Cavani and Ronaldo, are they going to be there next year? And so on and so forth. There's probably other targets. So I'm not against Rashford signing. You know, I'd rather, at this moment in time, might as well try Rafa Leao. If anything, they play the same sort of similar role. But I wouldn't move heaven and earth to bring him to the football club. That's just mine. I know a lot of people on Twitch are saying, but look what we did with Odegaard. Odegaard's actually got a brain. Odegaard's actually a half-decent footballer. Rashford is very reactive. He's a kick-and-run merchant. I think he's one that's never really... He's come through at Man United at a difficult time. And he's never really had that one on top of him just needing to do better. He hasn't had that one-to-one support because of the obvious dynamics. It's almost like a byproduct. He's one of these players, a bit like Martial. Are you a winger? Are you a striker? And then it's that. And I think Rashford's decision making, even when he scores goals, it doesn't look like he's meaning to do half of these things. Even when he's getting prolific goal records, he's quite a frustrating player. He runs into blind alleys. He passes when he needs to shoot, shoots when he needs to. I wouldn't move heaven and earth. If it's favorable terms, I'm down for it. But it's a myth, really and truly, man. Big up you lot in the comment section. Let me see what you lot are saying as well, man. In fact, just before that, again, I hope everyone's doing well and safe, having a progressive start to the week, having a progressive Tuesday so far. Sorry, folks, because this wire is getting tangled up in the mouse wire, and it's unfortunately not allowing me to do my job of just simply moving this switch. Now I can. Yeah, it's my thoughts on Rashford. He'd give something to the squad, but I'd rather us sign a number 9 who's a 9 first, an 8 who was an 8 first, then do all of this. You know, Rashford's a project player, and you know, football's funny. In 18 months, we might be saying, "Oh, remember when people didn't want him?" But at the same time, I'd rather go for other people, man. What are you lot saying? I'm pretty sure you lot are not going to be as kind, really and truly. Do you think Barella would fit into our system in midfield? Yeah, he will do good at Bayern. All right. I think he might go abroad, Barca or PSG. It'd be good for him. No, for Rashford, in no way is he coming. Is he coming, please? We've taken a lot to get rid of characters like this. He won't offer anything right now. Denver, respectfully, what is his character? From Twitch to YouTube, I'm here at work looking like one ear pod don't hit up the likes. Appreciate that, Top Gun Barry. I appreciate that. If we got Rashford, I'd back it because I can see that Arteta has a plan and he sees something in him. Would not want him to be our main striker target, though. I mean, I'm not buying Rashford to play as our striker. I can't lie to you. You can be a development done, but we need a striker first. You've mentioned Darwin Núñez, and then you get someone you can be a supporting act. That's a myth. And right now, as I said on Twitch, I would probably rather Smith Rowe, even Pepe and Martinelli on the left. I wouldn't start Martial. Man said Martial. I wouldn't start Rashford ahead of any of them at this moment in time. Joey, shout out yourself as well. Martial all day long. I'd rather him, if anything. Never seen that goal before, DG. You should show it more. Trust me, you know. So, yeah, one love for you lot. He's not better than Pepe, and even Pepe can't get minutes. I don't think he's technically better than him. Rashford should go to the MLS. He can be a PR merchant over there. I would only take Rashford for squad depth. Other than that, he can keep it moving to another team. DG, do you think we could play Odegaard as a striker, as we know how deadly he could be in the final third? I mean, I'd rather him just play in the 10, personally. But yeah, good player, but he's on 250k a week. We'll have to throw the bag at him. It's a no from me. Yeah, the resources to the application of the player aren't matching up. So yeah, I think that one there is a myth, really and truly. Pack, shout out to you. Don't forget to hit the like button. So yeah, man, I can't really see the Rashford thing banging in it for what it's worth. And he's been linked with PSG, which could be good for him. Punching, stealing a living right now, really. Tom and Graham, I don't know if they know what they're talking about or any sense. I don't know if they're just trying to clickbait the thing, but he's considering his Manchester United future, people, allegedly. Now, when I read this, I actually, even though it said our names, here it is, people. It just seems a bit vague. Marcus Rashford is considering his future at Manchester United after failing to hold down a regular spot in the starting lineup. He's made 18 appearances this term. Only 9 have been starts and just 2 have come in 2022. I don't think you can complain because you've been shit. You know, he's seeing other people playing positions he might want to play ahead of him. Again, you've been poor. You can't complain. Sources have confirmed to 90 Minute that Rashford has become increasingly frustrated under Rangnick and fears that the German, whose influence at the club will continue in a consultancy role after his temporary spell in the dugout comes to an end this summer, may not see a future for him at the club. He's a consultant. It doesn't mean he makes the decisions. What if Pochettino, whoever walks in the door, says, I want to use you? And apparently he's concerned about his lack of minutes. Again, it seems, based on the talk, it seems like he's taking no accountability, where I'm sure Rashford is, but you would think that it's all woe is me sort of thing. Apparently, Rashford is prepared to wait to see who replaces Rangnick. So that's the story in itself. That puts that to bed, really and truly. 90 Minute has learned that West Ham, Arsenal, and Newcastle are all keeping a close eye on the situation, while Atletico Madrid have registered an interest in the 24-year-old. I mean, I can understand why they're all linked. I wouldn't mind him joining this project, but I wouldn't move heaven and earth. I mean, I think he'd play week in, week out for West Ham. Newcastle would be a marquee signing. He's contracted for another year. He does have an option of another extension on top of that. So basically, he's got a 2-year deal. He's got talent. He can run, but you need something in between here. You need the brain, you know, when you can't run, when you can't sprint, when you can't out muscle or out trick, you need a brain. And Rashford seems like when it's a thinkers man game, he struggles with that. So it's a myth, man. Rashford, no thanks. He would be a squad player. Is he a centre forward? I don't think so. I think realistically we sign Isaac, but not my first choice. I don't know, because if we don't activate his price to his release clause and he doesn't drag his heels and we don't, you know, draw out that one across the summer, I can't see that happening. Big up DG Rashford. Oh hell no. If you was in a place to bet on who we sign a striker, who would it be? I don't know, because I really don't have a clue. I would hope it's Karim Adeyemi, Darwin Núñez, things of that nature. But yeah, we need to do everything to sign Gnabry. I mean, you know, we should be alert to what's going on with his contract, but punching in it. DG, it's been a minute. Shout out you, Trevor. It has, innit, man? Ain't seen that smile for a minute, my guy. Been super busy since the start of the year. Got a new job. Keep doing that, man. Haven't had the opportunity to be here, man. That's what we hear. That's what we're about, man. Come on, keep doing your thing. We're trying to grow, man. We're trying, you know me. Trying to thing, man. Trying it. My opinion, I don't know why it's not letting me bring that up. Here you go, Tommy. I hear that. So yeah, I think we're all kind of in agreement. If it's not a squad thing, and even that, depending on the wages and all the baggage, is what it is. And I mean, respectfully, Rashford, you know, it would be typical Arsenal to tear up Ozil's deal, then give Aubameyang a new one, tear up Aubameyang's one, then give you a new one. You know, we've kind of got out of it, really. And with Rashford, I mean, it's almost like one man's trash is another man's treasure. I don't want to write the man off at 24 years of age, because a year from now, man could be gassing it. But yeah, I wouldn't say it'd be awful, but we do need, I would say, quote unquote, proven. And when I say proven, you don't have to be the finished article, but are you a striker? Are you a number 9 and you can play out wide? Or are you a number 8 and you can do other things? I think Rashford is one of them players, much like we've got a lot of them and we're being linked with a couple where they can do everything. They can do everything. They don't necessarily do anything outstanding sort of thing. So there's that one. Sorry, folks, because I just had a brain thingamajig. I'm sure we got linked with João Felix again. I don't know if it's legit, but I'm sure you all saw him score twice in La Liga against Betis. I'm sure he was linked with Arsenal yesterday. Which, being linked is nothing. We're always linked with these sort of guys. We're always linked with these sort of players. So it doesn't mean much, really. But yeah, man, we was linked with him. So yeah, that's Rashi, really. It's a gamble to sign players from Salzburg. It's hit and miss. We could get Haaland or Daka. You won't get either one, really. And to be fair, Haaland's done all right. Daka's done all right. You know, Karim Adeyemi will be all right. You know, every signing in every walk of this world is a risk, as long as you've done your education. And there's no smoke without fire. There's a complete reason as to why he's targeted by Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich. He's been capped by Germany along with Florian Wirtz. And what's the other one? Musiala. I've got no worries about Karim Adeyemi. The guy's going to be a star in the short, medium, and future, really. You hear Makoko wants to leave Bayern Munich. I mean, but Borussia Dortmund, why not? Now, this is a Liverpool-based publication, and I don't know if it's true. It's nothing to do with Liverpool. It's just the only one. Allegedly, Dortmund and his club, Salzburg, have hit a somewhat, what's the word, like a snag. Now, that might just be a temporary roadblock in negotiations, but that might give people some encouragement. The 20-year-old has the world at his feet. According to a report from this German outlet, people, talks to take Adeyemi to Germany are stuttering, where if Liverpool get involved, then it's a myth, in it, people. You know, he can play across the front 3 positions. You know, he knows how to win a penalty as well. Being an Arsenal fan, you know, your leg could get chopped off in the box. You're still not going to get it. So it is what it is, people. You know, he scored 19 times and got 4 assists in 33 appearances. His market value is 31.5 million, contracted until 2024. Salzburg are allegedly holding out for 37.2. Now, if I'm honest with you, if you're trying to buy Jonathan David, where no disrespect to Jonathan David, if you can we linked with him, I think this is your man. Obviously, I can't lie, I'm starting to buy into the Tammy Abraham thing as well. You know, he's doing quite well at Roma. If we're linked with being able to spend plus 50 million for Borgia, 2 different sorts which is Saka, you know. I could see why, but if there's an opportunity to get Karim Adeyemi, I very rarely gas up players. I've spoken about him numerous times, you know. Again, fell in love with the player, pause from when I saw him. The guy's going to be a star. The guy's got as much potential as he wants. How far he wants to go in the game is down to him. Wonder of a left foot. Anywho, yeah, that thing has flopped in it. So it is what it is where that's concerned. What else was I looking at? Allegedly, people, again, 1 minute, Saliba's going to get an opportunity at Arsenal. The next minute, the scum article is saying that we'll demand over 27 million for him, which I do think his future's in the balance. I do think he'll get a chance at Arsenal, but I could see a reality where they say, you know what, give us the money that we already invested in my man. We spent, you know, give us a sell-on clause, and it is what it is. Every day, there's literally conflicting reports. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just running up this one there, people. Allegedly, Arsenal will reportedly demand 27 million from Marseille for Saliba. Discussions between the two clubs over a fee for the 20-year-old are set to get underway this month, according to L'Equipe. Arsenal rate the young defender highly, and they're asking for more than the initial 27 million, people. It's claimed that this asking price is out of their price range, so it doesn't seem that it's happening. He has previously said, you know, they want to hold on to Saliba. Keeping hold of Willian is a three-way matter for Arsenal, who own him, as well for the player himself and Marseille. We need to look at our possibilities. He was very happy with us here, and we are very satisfied. And you have heard conflicting reports that say, you know what, he'll be coming to the club to get an opportunity. And to be fair with you, as much as I like the relationship between Gabriel and Ben White, it's not all the way there yet. Both of them have brain farts, and I would love 3 quality centre-halves or developing centre-halves to be able to choose from, and the adaptability that gives you, and it keeps people on their toes really and truly. So it'd be a shame for him not to get an opportunity. Honest to God, I'm over it though. If he's going to play, cool. If he's not, then we ask questions. Simple as that. You know, again, it's been a while since we've been linked with my man in it. Sergio Roberto reportedly fancies a move to the Premier League amid interest from Arsenal. I mean, it looks like Barca are not trying to hand you a new deal, so he's been linked with us again. I don't care enough to just read about Sergio Roberto. Adeyemi's got that DG stamp of approval, another player we don't want to miss out on. My summer wish list relatively realistic. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, João Felix, Fabian Ruiz. Ooh, a pretty penny. What's strengths to his game? Go and get to know. Go and do your own research, man. What this isn't is the Karim Adeyemi show. You know, please, there's YouTube, there's whatever. Go do your own research and tell me what you find, my guy. My summer wish list, relatively realistic. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, João Felix, Fabian Ruiz. Fabian Ruiz, we could probably sign him if the other clubs that he actually wants to join says no. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is going to cost a pretty penny. Of course, there may be a relegation discount. And João Felix, a player which is an exception to the rule. For me, you do it if there's an opportunity to get it done. But fundamentally, if I can answer myself the simple question right now, is he a 9 or is he an 8? We know he can play as a false 9 and do all them things. He's not that. So he's a champagne player and I'm all for it. But is it exactly what we need? I don't know, man. Jason, shout to yourself. Hey, shout to you. Happy birthday, man. What have you said? Right, man's got the birthday boy thing on. Shout to you, Jason. Happy birthday, man. Enjoy your birthday. Pull up that Ray and F and do your thing. I think Arteta could get a tune from Rashford. I could as well, but I think it as well. But, you know, sometimes, you know, when your boy's trying music and he's shit, like, you need to tell him to stop rapping. Odegaard can rap in it. So Odegaard, you know, Arteta can make things happen for him. Rashford needs to put if it was a music example, put the mic down. He's shit. Like, it's not a thing you're going to make it and things like that. Darwin Núñez would be good. I'd rather us splash the cash on Darwin Núñez than Rashford right now. This seems like a PR stunt for him to get more game time. It probably is, man. Probably is. It probably is. João Felix, yeah, he could do all of that. But again, I think we need confirmation. Like, what are you? Are you able to do all of that, but you're something? You know, I think we need an 8 and then a striker who is a striker fundamentally. If he's able to do other things, that's great. Because I think this is a chance in the summer to really address the areas that we need to address. And Konku has been linked with Arsenal and other clubs as well, people, but he's allegedly going to cost 62 million, which is crazy. Away from all of that, what else have we got? If we start looking at some of these articles as well, as you look can see here, folks, make sure you're smacking the like button. Arsenal making money from January deal. Now a pipe dream. Player just did not convince. Really? Ainsley Maitland-Niles was never going to set the world alight at Roma? Really? Who knew? Loaned to AS Roma by Arsenal for the rest of the season, Ainsley Maitland-Niles was meant to be guaranteed minutes under Jose. There's no such thing as guarantees. The player moved to Italy with that in mind. I can't begrudge him. He's joining a big country, a big footballing country. He's playing under a big manager. He's playing for a big club. You know, life experience. Say he was in Germany and whatnot. It is what it is. For what it's worth, though, he moved to Italy. You know, he hasn't started the last 2 games against Atalanta and Spezia, which Roma have both won, meaning they could be better off without him. The fact there was no pre-agreed option to buy in the deal struck with Arsenal means any future transfer would have needed to be negotiated from scratch. But the odds of the Italian side asking the Gunners to sit down and talk about Maitland-Niles are now slim. So now we face the prospect of a player returning in the summer. What do we do with him? Do we aim to utilize him in potential, you know, money plus a player deal for other players that we want? Is there a future where he gets to kind of what happened last season, where he stays the first half of the season, or is he sold? He's contracted until 2023. As much, you know, Leno has got 1 foot out the door, contracted until 2023. Maitland-Niles is of the same ilk as well. And then obviously you've got Bellerin and Torreira. Torreira seems half gone. You know, it seems like he's actually been playing well. I don't know for the others. Now, I don't expect Edu and Cole to do everything, but you'd imagine they could do something. And you would have hoped, with no predetermined buy option in Ainsley Maitland-Niles' contract, in an ideal world, he would have been setting the world in Italy alight. And then he comes back to us, either ready to prove Arteta wrong or be sold on for more piece. It's a pipe. Speaking of pipe dream, it's probably a pipe dream to try and get that 20 million from Everton or Wolves. In fact, well, if Everton stay up, they're probably dumb enough to offer that again, same way. But here's what it is. According to this Italian publication, you know, they've reported on Tuesday, it is the player that simply did not convince when he was asked to play down the left and the right back slot. It's reserved for Rick Calmstruck in Jose's eyes. With him sitting out the last 2 fixtures, the moral of the story is that because he's only on loan, Roma buying him from Arsenal in the future remains a pipe dream, which is why it's no coincidence that rumours regarding a move for Delort are in the summer are re-emerging. So it's brazy for Ainsley. Apparently, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Tottenham are following Fenerbahce defender Kim Min-jae. Never seen him, don't know anything about him, people. You lot have to educate man on that. This Portuguese journalist, Portuguese journalist talking about English clubs of a South Korean international playing in Turkey. Football is multicultural in many different countries, but I always try and look at the bulk of where's the rumor come from, really and truly. But anyways, it doesn't surprise me. We should be scouting players, you know. Chelsea need centre halves because they're hardly going to have any based on the contracts. Tottenham can't defend to save their lives unless they're playing Everton. And while we have a good pivot, you know, we need options. So, you know, clubs scouting players, they should be. It doesn't mean someone's always going to get bought. I watch football to watch several players. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to open FIFA or Football Manager and sign someone. But allegedly, this Donny has said the defender was scouted by several teams during this game, you know, as well as the 3 English clubs. You've got Porto and Juventus. There are not many details on how advanced the interest in Kim Min-jae is for now. The report says that the Porto manager, Sergio likes him, and since the Dragons are losing Mbemba in the summer, they could go for him. Okay, so now we're finding out why this is of interest to you. Apparently, he joined Fenerbahce last summer, where he was playing in China, and he joined for 3 million euros, so they're going to make a decent little profit. Hit the like button on unexpected high bills are due, people. So, yeah, I don't know if there's any... Well, it is, again, and Nkunku's going to cost 62 million, which is crazy. Allegedly, Martinelli has said he wants to stay at Arsenal for life. In fact, we spoke, I wasn't planning to speak on that with you lot, people, if I'm honest with you. I'm just reading that. We'll get into the rest of this. There's Lacazette, there's Odegaard, and there's this people. But just before all of that stuff, Rashford is another Welbeck. To be fair, Welbeck looks a bit better. Tammy would be good, not convinced on David or Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I'm more convinced than I've ever been on Jonathan David. I think, how do I make this make sense? I'd rather not fully convinced on anyone, but I would buy Tammy in an attempt if I had to. I would still rather Tammy in another one, but I think Tammy has a better chance of being the number 9. If I'm bringing in Jonathan David, it's because I'm bringing in a Tammy or someone else and you're in the squad. I think he's got skills that could be part of the squad. Same with Rafa Leao. I think they could be 2 very good players that could develop beyond that, but be part of the squad. I wouldn't say I'm 100% convinced with Tammy Abraham, but I think, you know, I like the way he lives and breathes goals. I think his link-up play is still meaty, but it's improved. And you know, he's English and whatnot. You know, I can't lie. I'd probably try this Borgia brother or Tammy Abraham before Calvert-Lewin. I really am not convinced with Calvert-Lewin. I could get behind it, but it is what it is. Held to the no on signing Rashford. Not worth it to pay premium fee and shell out 200 bags plus for a. I wouldn't mind Pukki. I don't know why it's not. Maybe that's God saying, you know what? This is why the comments aren't coming up really and truly. That's dead. Tammy would eat up Tierney's crosses all day. To be fair, he kind of struggles with getting on the end of things, and his link-up play for a big man and his heading play is quite poor, really. But he would score goals, and you look at what we've got in front of us, it's kind of mediocre in it, all way, shape, and form of the word, man. We were going to splash 80 on Vlahovic, so the main striker would probably be a big money sign. I hope so, but how many are there really? Because if we're honest with yourselves, there's not a single striker that we're 100% convinced on. 100%. I'm not trying to hear nothing about Haaland, man. Would you loan out Balogun for another season? Yeah, probably, because if you're watching him at Middlesbrough, again, life is funny, but there's no way anybody can look at Balogun and say, yo, you're going to lead the line for Arsenal in their attempt to get top 4 plus next season. It's not fair to him. It's not fair to the fans. It's probably not fair to the gaffer. You know, there might be a reality where he's part of the squad because, and we're going to get onto Lacazette. There's rumours of Lacazette signing a new deal and whatnot. You know, so it could give him a blight, but if nobody's here, at least in the early parts of the summer, he's going to be the only forward, which could provide a chance for him. I think there's logic behind that, but realistically, how much is he going to play in it really? So I think the best thing is to go on loan again, full season. You're away, you know, at Arsenal, you know, in a Middlesbrough way, there is pressure, but Balogun's going to live or die by every 90 minutes. He scores a goal, he's the star. He misses a chance and he's overrated. Like you're seeing people, it's very volatile. I do think go away, go be out of the bubble of Arsenal where nobody cares that you're Balogun and you're Haaland, develop and come back, because Middlesbrough don't give a shit about that. Their fans don't give a crap, you know. You saw Chris Wilder, he don't give a crap. He wants to win things. And I do think when you're at these Arsenals and these sort of big clubs, football becomes a bubble. And for Balogun, he needs to see how real football is. You know, don't get it twisted. He's seen how real football can get. He's seen friends get released and things like that. But he's been living in a bubble. You know, clearly, my honest opinion, we've made man feel more important than they actually are. You know, we've made man somewhat think they're as important as Saka and Smith Rowe. Made a big song and dance on socials about the new deal. Got his new 30 bag a week contract, you know, got a new first team number, got promoted, got the big Emirates unveiling thing. But once you got past that, you knew you wasn't playing Premier League football like that. In your heart, you knew it. You know, I knew it as a fan. You were not playing because you're not levels. You know, obviously, you did your thing at the start of the season, and I'm not being critical. You're going to be out of your depth, aren't you? Realistically, you are going to struggle, which was the case for the individual. You know, first half of the season, couldn't get a look in, rightly or wrongly so, went out on loan. So probably needs to hit that again, man. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, honestly, not even an upgrade on Lacazette. Well, we might not even have Lacazette, really. Bellerin's been balling this season. He's a starter. Hopefully that means cha-ching. I don't think Haaland is that unrealistic if we get Champions League. I'll take your word for it. We're not fucking signing Haaland, people. Get that out of your heads, man. You lot pissing me off with this Haaland shit. Get it out of your heads, man. Respectfully, like, I don't know if man are trolling or whatever, bro. Arsenal could win Champions League. You still don't really have a case to sign Haaland. You're not getting Haaland, not right now, anyways. He might be coming to the Premier League. He might be joining City. He's not gonna fucking play for Mikel Arteta, is he? Come on now, man. Stop the shoppiness. The cameras freeze, DG. No clue why. Seems like we're having issues, man. Let me try to refresh it. Sorry, folks. Are we back? I think I am. And why is it saying MacBook? This thing is just bugging. It's not even using my Elite mic. He was using my Elite mic before. Yo. Frozen in time, man. We might be back now, though, man. But yeah, man, bro. Haaland, man, thinking this is all free. Bro, man, are gassing the thing, bro. Man, are talking about Haaland. Allow it, man. please. Anyways, away from that, man, I'll take you lot's word, man. If we get Champions League, we can get Haaland, all of these sort of things. Just allow me with the Haaland BS. Keep your opinions, etc., coming, folks. Hit the like button. We're still not even at 100 likes, man. I can't lie. And it's going to become a fortnightly thing, and we'll just operate on Twitch, man, because you lot don't respect the thing. But anyways, moving on from all of that, folks, you know, apparently there's been a change for Lacazette, and he could finally extend people. Again, Google Translate announced as one of the objectives of President of Olympic Lyon, Jean-Michel Aulas, for the next Mercato. Alexandre Lacazette seems to be moving away from Lyon. Indeed, the 30-year-old French striker, whose contract runs until next June at Arsenal, has since next June. You mean this June? Has since the sidelining and departure of Aubameyang regained credit in the eyes of Arteta. Appointed the captain of the Gunners last December, Lacazette has had good and very good performances. Author of 2 assists in Arsenal's victory on the lawn of Watford, where we won 3-2 this Sunday. The striker trained at Lyon has 2 goals and 7 assists in his last 10 Premier League games, which, you know, the 2 assists came in the last, you know, but the 2 goals came whenever. 7 assists is quite good, but it shows you the enigma. A return to the forefront of Lacazette, which totally convinced Arteta has such a point that the London club is considering reviewing its contract extension offer, a more attractive contract financially and more time than the offer made in December, an offer that could hit well the mark, even if nothing will be finalized. Now, I get the reasons for keeping Lacazette, but you can't predict the future. But is he going to play to this standard next season? You know, do I get it? Lacazette could be, whether in your Champions League or Europa League, we've got many competitions and games to play. Lacazette has shown, back to the Crystal Palace game, coming off the bench, adding something. You know, right now he might not be scoring goals, but, you know, he's somewhat, for, you know, these young kids are out on the pitch. He's almost like their favorite uncle. They love playing with him, in it. Smith Rowe, Lacazette, all these guys. I mean, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, all these guys. We see what's going on. I'm not against Lacazette getting a new deal. I mean, a 1-year deal with an extension. A 2-year gives him security. I don't know if that makes it easy for us, really. You know, I understand everything. I'm keen to explore keeping him. I wouldn't mind him leaving, and I understand certain variables around giving him a new deal, but you can't just look at the now, really and truly. And again, you know, it does give us a position of strength. Again, if Lacazette leaves, we haven't got a striker. Clearly, there's been next to no talk regarding Eddie Nketiah signing a new deal, so it's best to probably leave that one there. But, you know, it appears that Arsenal are considering offering Lacazette more money and longer time over his contract, which could be good. For Lacazette, you just got to keep doing what you're doing. If I play devil's advocate, I'd hardly say this is a case of, you know, when players are playing extremely in great form, when there's talk of their contract running up. It's hardly that. Lacazette's playing well, he's doing his thing, but yeah, I mean, it's one of them ones. So I'm not against it, but it is what it is where Lacazette is concerned, people. You know, big up Lacazette, because I'd never had to doubt your integrity. Do you care about the team and all of these sort of things? But yeah, man, that one day is probably a big myth, if I'm completely honest.